I could not hate baths anymore.
Hey, Shiro! How am I supposed to wash you if you keep squirming like that?
Come on, sis. After all the craziness that went down today, I'd say a bath is definitely in order. Just go with it.
I hate taking baths because it makes my hair stiff.
If that's the case, why don't you try some of my shampoo?
Where the hell did you come from, Jabril?
Suffering from tired, dried-out hair? Get soft, silky, flowing tresses with Flugel's very own Spirit Water Blend. And, as a bonus, I, Jabril, your new slave, will even throw in a free back scrubbing for my masters. Let me explore those hot alien bodies.
Shiro, watch out! Her very existence is 18 and over!
Jabril, wait. You just sit there and watch, naughty girl.
What? That's unfair! The stupid steam's covering up all the good stuff!
Look at that, already bossing her around like a pro. You've really made your big brother proud, learning to crack the whip at such a young age.
I really hate the fact that I'm starting to get used to this crap. What in the world is this? I prepared it for my masters. I do believe in your country they call it a kitchen. Excuse me, Steve.
It's Steph! My name is Stephanie Dola!
Well, Dola is ugly and I don't care for you much anyway, so I'm going to call you something easier to remember, like Dolly.
Dolly?
By the way, I received a message from Sora. Looks like there's plenty of sugar and butter here, so feel free to bake whatever you want. Message ends.
Really? Oh, think of all the desserts I could make with this! Hold on, that's just their backhanded way of getting me to bake goodies for them. Why do they always try to take advantage of poor little me?
But if it weren't for you, we would have lost. Thanks a lot, Steph.
So this is how the lowly humanity experienced that strange feeling called love, isn't it?
Love? No, you're wrong!
I believe you were ordered to fall in love, not stay in love. So what's the deal, darling? Why do you still seem to be so affected by it? At first, I thought you were useless, but your clownish behavior is actually quite amusing.
Greetings, Kurumi. I'm finally back. You wanted some information, right? Or was it food? Wait, I know. How about me?
Thanks, but I'll take my clothes first. This is great.
We have that poor girl you beat in the tournament to thank. Ever since she started enacting the new king's policies, the quality of life in Elkia has really started to improve.
Whatever. Little princess. She's just the puppet of a puppet, and as shameless as her grandfather was foolish.
I know you feel guilty for trying to cheat her out of the kingdom, and I know you've been working on an apology when you didn't think I was watching. You're so adorable, Kurumi.
Hey, how do you... more importantly, don't you have any intel to report?
Oh, well, this and that. It seems that the new king has somehow acquired a Flugel as a personal slave, and he's really interested in the Eastern Federation. I think that's about it.
All of that's true?
Okay, maybe I got a little carried away, but remember, it's for the sake of humanity. It definitely has nothing to do with being in love.
Now then, dear Jabril, tell me what you know about the Eastern Federation, the sexy animal girl paradise we're about to conquer.
Well, I guess this country's pretty much done for.
As you wish, my king. The various war beast clans were embroiled in a civil war for many years, mostly due to physical differences. But the Shrine Priestess put an end to the battles in less than half a century. The clans unified into a massive naval empire and became the world's third largest country, the Eastern Federation.
So, a land of cat girls, dog girls, fox girls, rabbit girls, and all other kinds of animal girls, and they'll all be mine. Alright, we must conquer them at once.
But to do that, we'll need to utilize all that precious knowledge you've been collecting over the last millennia.
I'm sorry, Master. I doubt that would do much good. Unfortunately, I can think of no path to victory when it comes to facing the Eastern Federation.
Jabril, you don't mean that.
You're saying Blank can't win?
Not quite. What I mean is, I won't be of much help in forming your strategy. There was once a time where I, too, fought the Eastern Federation. And lost.
That settles it. I knew Elkia had another nation's support. It must be the war beasts.
Okay then, so what do you think is going on?
You, of all people, should know. On at least 4 occasions, Elvengard challenged the Eastern Federation, and lost each time.
We might have won if the players weren't those senile elders, but okay.
The point is, when I faced Blank, I lost. And that means they were able to overcome your elven magic, and that Flugel was next. In other words, they must be using some sort of war beast sorcery that even an elf couldn't detect.
Are you sure?
That's gotta be it. There's no way humanity could beat a higher race by itself.
Don't underestimate humanity.
He's got some nerve.
So you and the elves both got your asses handed to you? What the hell kind of game did you play anyway?
When setting the rules, one of the Federation's conditions is that the loser has their memories of the game erased. Now, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. It's impossible.
What do you mean it's impossible?
If they wipe your memories when you lose and you have no recollection of the game, how are you going to adapt your strategy the next time you challenge them? To top it off, they can also read your mind? How are we supposed to beat a race like that?
Don't be such a Steph. It's pretty obvious.
Huh? No, wait a second. It doesn't add up.
What doesn't?
Since trying to beat the War Beast is so pointless, their enemies should eventually stop trying, right?
It would be less painful that way, for everyone.
That, dear sis, is why you suck at strategy games, despite being a little smarter than me. They've got some kind of slam dunk method of beating Flugel and even elves. Why don't they pretend like they're vulnerable instead? Then they'd lure the enemy in, give them a healthy beatdown, and snatch their land. Easy.
That playstyle is just mean.
Appalled!
There is something weird about it, though. How could they have expanded their country so much in just half a century?
See? I told you it's strange! You don't
Master,
really
wait.
get me,
I just
do
thought of
you?
something.
Can't
I
only
think
be
I might
one
be able to
hand
explain how that
guy.
happened.
Oh, really now? Well, let's hear it.
Oh, I saw something in here somewhere. Only one country has challenged the Eastern Federation in the last 10 years.
Only one? Who's dumb enough to do that?
Why don't I just show you? It'll be faster. Come along, Dolly. You're going with us. All right, then, Masters. Hold on tight and don't let go.
Oh?
Now then, if everyone is ready...
What's going on?
Wow, it's so nice and clear today.
Jabril, what the heck did you just do?
Ever hear of teleporting?
Right. I keep forgetting. I'm living in a fantasy world now.
So, how far can you teleport?
I can travel as far as I can see, and to any location I've visited before.
So
a
Zoom spell. How is poor little Humanity able to survive in a war against a whole race full of monsters like her?
That's been the most perplexing mystery in all our history.
Oh, I remember it like it was just yesterday. The Dragonia, Giganto, and Old Deuce all storming the battlefield. 50 Flugel desperately fighting to sever a single dragon's head, and then 200 of our finest facing a god in vain. Why, I can almost smell the blood. Ah, yes, the good old days. Have a look over there, Master.
Huh? What am I looking at here? Some ugly high-rise crapping up the fantasy landscape?
It's huge.
Oh, that's the Eastern Federation's Elkian embassy.
Well, that kind of seems like overkill, don't you think?
Actually, that used to be the Elkian Palace, but the Eastern Federation did a bit of remodeling.
Ah. Hey, hold on! So that place used to be your palace? Why do they have it?
All starting to make sense now, Master?
Huh?
In the last 10 years, only one country has challenged the Federation.
Uh-huh. And blew it, too.
Yeah, the challenger was Elkia. You hanging in there, Sora?
Yeah, sorry. Just swallowing in despair, that's all. Even the elves gave up after 4 losses, but Elkia challenged these guys 8 times. I bet half its kingdom? I'm starting to think that old king really was an idiot.
Hey, what was that? Weren't you the one that kept claiming that he was right despite what everyone else said?
And thanks to his recklessness, your territory got cut in half. You expect me to defend that? Can you just imagine all the industry and farming we could have if the country still had all that land? Man, he was as hopeless as you are. Did he just suck at getting lucky, thinking if he kept trying that eventually he might somehow win?
Okay, maybe it's true that my grandfather wasn't good at games, but he wasn't stupid enough to risk the 3 million lives under his care unless he had a good reason. The people came first. Unlike the two of you, he was kind and loving and reasonable at least.
Well, excuse me for being cruel and awful. Besides, if throwing away half your shit qualifies you as reasonable, then I'm happier being a jerk. Maybe you're right and he was a good king. But just a good king for a bunch of whiners that won't take things into their own hands. That's more likely. Useless friggin' humans. Completely hopeless, every last one of them. Huh?
You can go ahead and mock me, I don't care. But don't insult my grandfather or what he believed in.
Hey, Steph, wait, come back.
Too far. Way too far.
After finding out about this ridiculous state of affairs, how else should I react?
Oh. They're yummy.
Damn. They are good.
Granddaddy? What's this key for?
Well, sweetie, it opens the lock to something I've stored away that's very important.
Oh, I've heard about that! So it's for your secret man books that you can't show to other people?
No, my dear, that's something else. I mean, this key. This is a key of hope.
Hope, huh?
Maybe someday it will belong to you.
What do I do with it, Granddaddy?
I want you to find someone very special to give it to. Someone to whom you can entrust our kingdom. Someone who can carry the weight of humanity's future.
Like hell I'm ever giving this to that stupid—
Hey there, you got a second?
What the heck are you doing here?
Dolly,
This is
I highly
trespassing.
recommend
I
that you
could've been
return to the
naked, you
library
know.
immediately.
What's going on now?
Though I came here on my own, I feel your presence would benefit my master. However, I won't force you.
This is so ridiculous, like they even care about me! Fine, I'll go!
Master, no matter how hard you look, I doubt you'll find evidence to justify the king's foolish actions.
No, that's not what I'm looking for. Something about this is bugging me, though.
You wouldn't happen to be looking for clues to help Dolly feel better now, would you?
Look, I'm just reviewing all the info so I don't make the same mistake on my Animal Girl Kingdom conquest. So, anyway, why'd the former king challenge the Federation 8 times? A reasonable man responsible for 3 million people wouldn't just rush into defeat again and again. Right here, isn't this the first place he offered up as a wager?
That's an Armatide mine, isn't it?
Even though it's a valuable metal, humanity doesn't have the technology to refine it, so it's worthless to us. Then here's the second bet, and the third bet, the fourth bet, and finally, the 8th here. Until the very last game, when he bet the castle, looks like he didn't wager anything of value. Come on, I know he had a reason for it, but why?
Master?
Why wipe challengers' memories when it only discourages them? Why did Elvingard challenge them 4 times? Why did the former king... No, wait. Maybe he stopped at 8 because maybe by the 8th time, he actually achieved his goal. There's no written proof, but what if the last king didn't lose his memories after all?
Master. Please don't take this as being rude. But from what I've seen, not all humanity act with the same forethought and intention as you.
Not all, but I'm sure some of them do. And most of the time, they're probably misunderstood. Now, as the new king, it's my duty to try and understand them. I know what you're thinking. How can I possibly believe that an inferior race like humanity actually has a chance?
No, I wasn't thinking that at all.
The answer is simple, really. If you want to know the truth, I don't believe in humanity. Humans are lonely and stupid creatures, every single last one of them, including me. They're all crap. Doesn't matter what planet they're from. This one or my old one. Not a damn thing's changed a bit.
I've heard enough.
However, I believe in humanity's potential. If you need proof, it's right here. This little human is the real deal. She's a shining example of our potential, our strength, our hope, and our dreams that reach even beyond the gods. I remember the first day we met. It was almost 8 years ago. Back then, she was only 3. The first time she heard my name, guess what her response was?
You seem so empty.
First off, she knew that my name meant sky, and then she noticed that I was smiling, just because everyone else in the room was. A double entendre at 3 years old. I was so pumped. This was it. I found someone who was worth something. Also, I wanted to be like her, or at least try. You know, back in our old world, humans can fly through the sky and even travel amongst the stars.
Sorry, but that's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah, no kidding. Even humanity itself doubted any of that was possible. But someone eventually pulled it off. The real deal pulled it off. That's why it's up to us to ensure that the potential of the misunderstood gets realized before it all goes to waste. And that's the reason why I need to start believing in him. The former king was right.
Sora. I have something that I want to give you.
There's no doubt. It's his port.
I knew it! My life's
But, my dear master, which door do you think it goes to?
People usually stash their porn in their own room. So then, it's this one.
Actually, Sis and I found it a long time ago.
Peace.
Huh?
Remember when I said this bed was lopsided and hard to sleep on? That was just the start of the puzzle, with a little messing around here and there. Ah, there you go. One secret room coming right up.
Oh, I give up. I don't know anything.
Oh.
I leave this in hopes that you will not be humanity's last king, but rather the one who restores it. I admit, I am not a wise king. In fact, I fully expect to be remembered as one of the most foolish. But that is of no matter. I take up this pen for the future king, the one who will one day bring us to glory. All I can do is trust that the story of my pathetic and seemingly hopeless struggles will someday assist you in your quest as our next king.
I knew it! The old king didn't have his memories erased after all. Unlike the elves, the war beasts knew humanity didn't stand a chance to win and looked down on them as easy prey. They didn't erase his memories because they wanted him to keep trying.
Was that some way to lure him in?
They purposefully went easy on him to make him think he could beat them the next time. But still, the king knew that, and he challenged them anyway, hoping to figure out how their game worked. He deliberately gave them useless land that he'd eventually try to take back.
So then, if he played so many times, why didn't he reveal the secrets of the game to anyone?
They probably made him take a pledge. Like he couldn't tell people as long as he lived.
So it was all for nothing?
Not quite. Once he died, the pledge no longer applied. He bet 8 times, but then he found a loophole in the pledges. Then entrusted that information to the next king. Humanity's greatest gambler.
That's why he set up a gambling tournament to find the next ruler, even if it ousted Steph.
Your former king? He made a bet. He bet that a human, someone from the lowest ranked race, would rise up and crush all the other races.
The possibility rests ever so close to naught. However, it still remains.
Steph. He just pretended to be a fool, lost the bets, but kept trying. In reality, he was a great man, trying to save humanity up until his death. This is his trust in our people. You know what, Steph? Your old Gramps... No, sorry. I mean the former king? He really was a great man after all.
Granddaddy! Granddaddy!
Well, it sure is one hell of a task he threw at us.
Don't worry, Sora. You and I can do it.
See, Jabril? Not all humans are so bad. What you think? You ready for this?
Yes. Ready indeed, Master.
That's kind of ridiculously overdone.
Why would they ever need to build something so absurdly huge? They couldn't possibly be trying to compensate for something, could they?
Okay, well, this was a nice little vacation, but could you please take me far away from this place now? Hey, wait! This embassy's on foreign soil!
Yeah, but it was originally our castle too, you know.
But this is an invasion of their territory!
Just relax, I made an appointment already. Hey there!
Greetings, Lord Sora and Lady Shiro. Welcome to our embassy. I'm the Assistant Ambassador to the Elkian Embassy, Ino Hatsei. A pleasure to meet you.
Wait, when did...
This morning. I could see the old dude checking me out in the library, so I signaled to him I'd come over. Man, just like they say, those Warbeast senses really are awesome. It's like they've got telescopic vision.
You could have told me about this, you know.
Undoubtedly, the reason for your visit is to meet with Ambassador Izuna Hatsei. Is that correct?
It looks like the rumors really were true. The Warbeasts can read people's minds.
Glad to hear we're all on the same page. Right, let's get moving.
Very well. This way, if you please.
Forget about the Warbeasts. How did Sora see him from way over there?
in case you hadn't noticed.
The game. It's already begun, hasn't it?
Hey, Jabril.
Yes?
What do you guys call this?
It's an image display device. But wait, the war beasts can't use magic, so I don't know how they're doing it. My, but it is rather fascinating.
Cool.
What's going on? Why is the floor moving?
Pardon, but I beg you follow proper procedures when making an appointment next time. Due to an incident, many war beasts harbor extreme animosity toward Elkia. Since you arrived so quickly, most weren't informed and may not act entirely civil.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, a dog that talks and walks is still just a dog, right?
Hey, Steph, what incident?
Yeah, he's referring to the construction wars. Having a foreign embassy bigger than our palace was really bad for our image, so we ended up building a new, bigger one.
That's the one we live in now, right?
No, because after that, the Eastern Federation built their embassy even bigger, so we had to keep competing. But when it comes to construction technology, Elkia lags way behind the Eastern Federation, so...
Isn't that ironic? If I recall, the war beasts are only rank 14 themselves, so looking down on humanity is... Well, I'm not sure how your people say it, but we say it's like a moron laughing at an imbecile.
That may be true in a sense, but it seems a bit petty coming from someone from the Sixth Order. Speaking of which, as a weapon, I fear you're defective if you're serving a bunch of shaved monkeys.
Okay, guess relations in this world are pretty strained, huh?
The war dragged on forever, and thanks to the 10 pledges, they can't get violent, so they ended up letting out their aggression this way instead.
My lords, please wait here.
Each culture certainly has its own style, huh?
Master, you never told us how you made contact with the war beasts.
Nobody's talking about it, so just take the hint, okay?
I apologize for prying, Master. But I can't read minds like the beasts here. And I really, really want to know! Tell me, 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 tell me! So even with your little magic rectangle, you still couldn't see him clearly, but you guessed that he saw you and gestured to him accordingly? Is that right?
Don't tell me you love someone who can read minds.
I apologize for the wait. Presenting the Eastern Federation's ambassador to Elkia, Miss Izuna Hotse.
Erase time! Hey, pretty girl with the animal ears, wanna come play with me? I know I'm a little bit of a perp, but I've got a clean record.
Why the hell are you assholes touching me? Please.
What?
Minus 50 cuteness points for sure.
Who said you shitheads could stop? Thank you. You popped out of nowhere and surprised me is all. Please, commence the petting, peasants. Thank you.
Adding please and thank you at the end of a sentence doesn't automatically make it polite, you know.
Of course it does, you idiot. Thanks.
I apologize if she has offended you. My granddaughter's still getting a grasp of the Amanati language. Oh, and by the way...
Keep your filthy monkey paws off of her, you hairless primate, or I'll rip you a new asshole!
Or that's what I would say if you weren't so charming.
So I guess she gets it from the old fart, huh?
He's a bad accessory. Minus 1,000 points. But I just love her conflicting personalities. Plus 1,050 points.
You hairless monkeys do that way better than Grandpa. Please, keep doing. Thank you.
Look, why don't we give the whole monkeys thing a rest? I'm Sora. That's my little sister Shiro.
Nice to meet you, Izuna.
Sora and Shiro. Got it. Please. Thanks.
Well then, let us hear what you feces-tossing apes have to say.
I thought you could read our minds.
This is a place of diplomacy, a place to exchange ideas. Or is that too complicated for you knuckle-dragging gorillas
Don't get pissed. She just likes us better, Pop.
He's so immature.
Master, I advise you to be careful not to shatter the war beast's fragile, dainty heart. He's so pathetic, we wouldn't want to hurt his little feelings.
Aww! Didn't anyone teach you people manners?
All right, Gramps. I'll tell you what we're here for. How about we play a game and you bet your granddaughter's panties? And I'll put up Steph's for my bet.
If you wanted me to roll you in a rug and beat you to death, you should have just said so, you damn monkey!
What? You'd rather have Jabril's than Steph's?
Certainly, as you wish, my master.
Don't tell me you want Shiro's. Come on, Gramps, that's sick. She's only 11 years old. No, don't tell me. You don't want mine, do you? Sorry, but I don't swing that way.
It's okay, Sora. I'll protect your chastity.
Too many choices or what? Her panties are a pretty good deal for you, old-timer.
Please excuse me, but if you refuse to tell us why you're really here, then maybe it's best
Drop the pathetic act already. If you can read thoughts like you say, then I'd suggest you go for the panty game. Look, I know it's not the panties you're after. It's just a low-stakes match, and a good chance to wipe away all my memories about your games. So let's shake on it. Oh, second-guessing, huh? Looks like I was right. Smells to me like cold reading. Cheap parlor tricks that don't even need the amazing senses of a war beast. Just some observational skills and a bit of intuition. Coincidentally, that just so happens to be a specialty of mine.
Is he?
So you done confirming this isn't a bluff yet? Now then, since we've established that your so-called mind-reading ability is a bunch of crap, let's get down to business. Like why we really paid you a visit. We, Sora and Shiro, designated representatives of the 16th Order of Humanity and the Kingdom of Elkia,
have blessed the Eastern Federation with the opportunity to become the first honorable sacrifice on our path to world domination. Therefore, we hereby challenge you to a game between nations.
And we demand everything the Eastern Federation has on this continent.
A game? Between nations? So you mean we're officially attacking the Eastern Federation? Did I really just hear you correctly?
Yep. And by the way, we're not changing our bet. It's still for Steph's panties. Ah! Should've just bet easing his panties while you had the chance. Sorry, Gramps. Them's the breaks. And that's a check.
Master, could you please explain the madness going on here?
What's wrong, Jabril? You still don't understand?
Basically, we've got the Federation backed into a corner. Over the last 50 years, their technology evolved pretty rapidly, and they grew more and more powerful. But despite being so advanced, they're still an island nation that needs resources from the mainland. Before they could even set foot on the main continent, Elvengard attacked. Or perhaps they were lured in. Either way, no other country would agree to play an unknown game that even the strongest nation kept losing. The Federation couldn't get onto the continent. They should have just lost, so more countries would challenge them. But for some reason, they didn't. Let's solve these mysteries in order, shall we? Question 1. Why do they wipe all memories of the game?
If they don't, they won't be able to win every time.
Correct! It defeats the goal of luring others into play. Even though it's not entirely logical, they wipe memories because there's something they're trying to keep secret. But still, you can erase people's memories, but not the fact that they lost. Question 2. Why'd Elvengard challenge them 4 times?
They knew that they might lose, but they wanted to figure out what the game was.
Unlike Elkia, Elvengard is a really big country. They were prepared to suffer some losses to do their research. After their first loss, they figured it must have been a game where you couldn't use magic. An elf would think that was the most likely reason they'd lose a game. So they came up with some kind of counter move and challenged a second time and lost again. Then they played a 3rd time. I'm not sure how, but they figured something out. So they went back to using their official cheats they called magic and made their 4th and final challenge. And they lost again.
That's quite an imagination you have.
In any case, I'm not too concerned with the way they lost. What I want to know is why they stopped after 4 games. If you think all that's just my imagination, that's cool. I mean, you're old and kind of grumpy, I get it. I see 2 options. The first, they realized the game was impossible to win.
And then, the elves could have exposed the cheating, and won.
Or second, they learned the tricks of the game, but could never figure out why they kept losing.
So that's why the elves stopped challenging them. But still. Now that's odd. So what do we have here? You were able to figure out the game, but you have no idea why you kept losing.
Starting to get good, party people! Time for question 3! What works equally well on these very different races? What game would be a guaranteed win made by technology only the Federation would have? And the answer is...
They made a video game where you can cheat all you want.
They made a video game? What the hell is a video game?
I doubt that you'd know, Steph. But Jabril, you challenged the Eastern Federation once already, so how come you'd never seen that thing at the entrance before?
Well, I guess that's because...
Because you'd forgotten it. It's a memory associated with the game. Still, despite all that, if a flugel like Jabril doesn't know anything about them, it's pretty safe to say the Federation is the only country in the world with video games. You erase the memories to keep the games a secret. Because, guess what, everyone? In a video game where you're the game master, you can keep cheating your ass off till the cows come home.
And your opponent who's busy running in circles stays clueless.
Plus, if you don't even know what cyberspace is, then magic's pointless. All that mind-reading garbage is just a cover story, so your opponents won't look closer and find out you're cheating, right? Hang on. We're almost done here. So you can tell when someone's lying, but there's no way you can read their mind. And the final question is... Golly, how in the world were they able to figure all this out? The answer's on the house, Pops. Do you care to take a guess?
Don't tell me it was the former king. We made him swear by the pledges to tell no one. But even he didn't realize we couldn't read minds. No, that's not the problem here.
Right. That's not the real problem. You made the former king promise not to speak about the games to anyone, but since he did, it proves you couldn't read his mind. How? Because he pledged to tell no one so long as he lived. That doesn't mean he couldn't tell anyone after he died. So now that we know all about your devious game, are you starting to get a little worried, old man? Because if you're not, Gramps, we'd be happy to go to the elves and tell them all about your tactics, and you'd be forced to play them all over again, and you'd lose. At this point, it's in your best interest to erase our memories. But if you're prepared to bet your territory just for Steph's panties, then I guess that means my imagination must be correct.
Damn it.
Then that means your only other option is to claim my theory is just a load of crap and run away from our challenge, right, old man? But who said you could run away? I'll make it worth your while. I'll throw in all of humanity. And humanity's race piece.
Kurumi? Why is...
Listen, Phil. Do you know of any games in the past where someone bet a race piece?
Of course not. Never. If you bet your race piece and lose, then you also lose all your rights as an Exceed. That means...
That the 10 pledges no longer apply. In other words, we're no better than animals. It's like a death sentence for all of humanity.
Son of a bitch! Sora, are you insane?
I've bet our entire territory and put the lives of all humanity on the line. If you try to back out now, that's like telling the entire world that my imagination was correct. Bet you didn't see that coming, did you, Mr. Freaking Mind Reader? Check and mate.
Are you sure you want to do this? Even if you're correct, keep in mind Elven God still lost this game 4 times. Plus, you dare bet your precious race piece? Do you want your people to go extinct?
Say, old fart, remember when I flagged you down from the library? Maybe if you thought about how we could do that, you'd have realized that the two of us are not from this world. When it comes to video games, you can use as many cheats or assist as your heart desires.
None of that will help you. Blank will never lose to anything like that.
When we showed up here...
Did you really think we would just roll over like easy prey?
Now it's your turn to be the hunted, war beast friend.
Who the hell do these two think they are?
Well, guess you can't agree to a game of this scale on your own, right? We could do this another day. We're betting our race piece, so all humanity has the right to watch. The 4 of us are ready, and we're not gonna let you squirm out of this.
But wait! I don't really get any of this, thanks. But... Sora and Shiro, sounds like you buttwads challenged me to a fight, so thanks.
A fight? No way.
Izuna, let's play a game next time, okay?
I won't lose to losers, thank you.
Sorry to disappoint, but you will.
Everyone knows, Blank never loses a game. See you soon, little Izuna.
You idiot! What the hell are you thinking? Do you realize what you've done? And what if you lose? What the heck are you gonna do?
I don't know. If we lose, we're pretty much done for, so what else is there? I know if we lose, it's game over for us and 3 million people. But if we win, we get the animal girls and their land. Not too shabby, eh? Isn't it so exciting, Shiro?
It's so exciting.
What's wrong with you two?
Just relax, Steph. It's just a game, right?
I knew it. It was stupid and naive of me to entrust these people with my grandfather's hopes.
If it bothers you, Dolly, then consider this. If the Masters win, every war beast on the planet will be stripped of their land and also their rights, and possibly face death. Who do you think should take responsibility for that? We rule each other and kill each other through games instead of violence. The losers are exploited, enslaved, and killed. That's the essence of the 10 pledges. Being daring enough not just to risk your own life, but also the lives of all your people, just for the tiniest opportunity to defeat your enemy. Those are the qualities we need in a ruler.
Say what now?
What?
Don't tell me you guys haven't figured it all out yet.
The way to win. The way to beat this world.
The way to win and beat this world?
Well, now I see why God gets so bored of this place.
Poor Tet. I feel sorry for him.
Don't worry, guys. We'll conquer the hell out of this world as promised. The whole damn thing. We won't lose. There's no point in even planning for that sort of outcome. No chance of us losing. You got me?
And that's checkmate.
Come out here, you stupid kid! You can't beat Elf! Even they must be working hard for the Eastern Federation!
My, how quickly their attitudes have changed almost overnight.
How do you think you'd feel if you were suddenly given a death sentence? I think it's actually pretty strange that they're acting this calm. Are you going to do anything to quiet them down?
If they were that mad, they could try and take the throne back from us.
It's just a bunch of whining, and I doubt any of them have the guts to challenge us. More importantly, what's the holdup? It's been a week already.
You mean why the Federation hasn't picked a date for the game yet? With their whole country at stake, I'm sure it will take some time.
Yeah, I figured as much. I'll just wait for someone with more of a backbone to show up. Looks like they're finally here. Kept me waiting long enough. Yeah, of course I know what you guys want. I'm ready when you are. Shiro, listen up, Kay. You know that I believe in you.
Yeah, I know. I believe in you too, Sora.
Shiro, never forget the two of us are always one. The two of us are bound by a promise. Shiro, we're not the heroes of some stupid kid's manga. Shiro, we've always won the game before it's even started.
Sora?
I'll get the last piece to beat the Federation. Okay, sis?
Sora? No! Wait!
Let's get this game started, shall we?
Baby, the one I thought so amazing. You drove me crazy. I would've done it all for you, but then I seen that you fucking played me. Suddenly everything was hazy. Couldn't understand why my love wasn't fading. Girl, you made me contemplate it, sit and wait, and make myself start hating for everything I did and every single drink. Now I gotta think, why the fuck were we ever together? And realize, bitch, yeah, forever was never. I wanna give you something, so I wrote you this letter, trying to finish it off since we broke up that December. I don't wanna lose, I was meant to be a winner. Now I'm here standing while I'm holding my chin up. Memories of the bad me giving you the finger, and all I can say, girl, is you just a big cunt.